Welcome back to our channel, where you will find all of the information and study material to help you pass your U.S. citizenship interview. Today, we will review the official 2008 version of the USCIS 100 civics test questions and answers with you. A male officer will go over these questions in random order and will provide you the simplest answers. Of course, you can choose the one that's easiest for you to remember. And if you need more help, we have different versions on our channel, and you can check out the playlist here. All right, are you ready? Let's do it.
What do we call the first 10 amendments of the Constitution? The Bill of Rights. The House of Representatives has how many voting members? 435. Name one state that borders Canada. New York. What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? The United States. Name one right only for United States citizens. Vote in a federal election. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. The Civil War. How many U.S. senators are there? 100. What movement tried to end racial discrimination? The Civil Rights Movement. What is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the federal government. What is one power of the federal government? To print money. How old do citizens have to be to vote for president? 18 and older. What did the Declaration of Independence do? Announced our independence from Great Britain. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Crow. What is the political party of the president now? Democratic. When was the Declaration of Independence adopted? July 4, 1776. In what month do we vote for president? November. When must all men register for the Selective Service? At age 18. What does the Constitution do? sets up the government? What happened at the Constitutional Convention? The Constitution was written. Who makes federal laws? Congress. What ocean is on the east coast of the United States? The Atlantic Ocean. What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? Africans. The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these words? We the people. Name your U.S. representative. When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms? April 15th. Who does a U.S. Senator represent? All people of the state. What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? Separation of powers. What is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? To be loyal to the United States. What are the 2 parts of the U.S. Congress? The Senate and House of Representatives. We elect a president for how many years? 4. When was the Constitution written? (1787). When do we celebrate Independence Day? July 4. What is an amendment? A change to the Constitution. Who is one of your state's U.S. senators now? What is the economic system in the United States? Market economy. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? Louisiana. How many amendments does the Constitution have? 27. Who is the Commander-in-Chief of the military? The President. Who was the first president? George Washington. Who was president during World War I? Woodrow Wilson. Name one branch or part of the government. The President. Who lived in America before the Europeans arrived? Native Americans. What are two rights of everyone living in the United States? Freedom of speech. Freedom of religion. What did Susan B. Anthony do? Fought for women's rights. What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? Freed the slaves. Who is the father of our country? George Washington. What are two rights in the Declaration of Independence? Life, liberty. What major event happened on September 11, 2001 in the United States? Terrorists attacked the United States. Who is the governor of your state now? What did Martin Luther King Jr. do? Fought for civil rights. What is one reason colonists came to America? Freedom. Why does the flag have 50 stars? Because there are 50 states. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of the writers. John Jay. Where is the Statue of Liberty? New York. Name the U.S. war between the North and the South. The Civil War. Who vetoes bills? The President. During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? Communism. What is the name of the Speaker of the House of Representatives now? Nancy Pelosi. We elect a U.S. representative for how many years? 2. What ocean is on the west coast of the United States? The Pacific Ocean. What is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? U.S. diplomat. What does the President's cabinet do? Advises the President. Who signs bills to become laws? The President. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? Because there were 13 original colonies. If the President can no longer serve, who becomes President? The Vice President. What are 2 cabinet-level positions? Attorney General, Vice President. What does the judicial branch do? Reviews laws. What are the 2 major political parties in the United States? Democratic and Republican. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? Freed the slaves. What is the name of the national anthem? The Star-Spangled Banner. Name 1 U.S. territory. Guam. Why did the colonists fight the British? Because of high taxes. Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? World War II. What is the highest court in the United States? The Supreme Court. What is the name of the Vice President of the United States now? Kamala Harris. We elect a U.S. Senator for how many years? 6. Name 1 war fought by the United States in the 1900s. World War I. There are 4 amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. Any citizen can vote. What is the rule of law? Everyone must follow the law. How many justices are on the Supreme Court? 9. Who is in charge of the executive branch? The President. Name one problem that led to the Civil War. Slavery. Name 2 national U.S. holidays. New Year's Day, Christmas. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the states? Give a driver's license. What is the name of the President of the United States now? Joe Biden. There were 13 original states. Name 3. New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Thomas Jefferson. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? Speech. Who did the United States fight in World War II? Japan, Germany, and Italy. Name one state that borders Mexico. California. What are 2 ways that Americans can participate in their democracy? Vote, run for office. If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president? The Speaker of the House. Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? John Roberts. Why do some states have more representatives than other states? Because they have more people. Who was president during the Great Depression and World War II? Franklin Roosevelt. Name one of the 2 longest rivers in the United States. The Mississippi River. What is the capital of the United States? Washington, D.C. What is freedom of religion? You can practice any religion or not practice a religion. What is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? Vote in a federal election. What is the capital of your state?